Welcome to part 2. This question is from Paddy in the US. Where do you see yourself in 2 or 3 years from now in reference to your music? And she also refers to the need to go live and take the punches. Well, Paddy, I've been around the blocks more than a few times, and the punches don't bother me playing live. The trouble is, I don't tolerate musicians easily, and I imagine they wouldn't tolerate me because I'd want a band that does what I want to do, when I want to do it, how I want to do it. So nothing's impossible. But, you know, I'm quite happy if I'm going to be in 2 or 3 years still recording my wee shed and putting songs out on the internet and meeting nice people like yourself. Where do I see myself in 2 or 3 years now in reference to music? I don't see past the next minute. I just don't. I can't answer that question. I'm not psychic. And I don't have any ambitions. I've never had an ambition in my bloody life, so I hope that's satisfied your curiosity on that one. H asks, what do you think about mainstream music of today compared with the music of the 60s and 70s? Well, also, I don't listen to a great deal, but what I do listen to is exactly that, mainstream. There's no emotion, there's no different, it's the same, you can tell it's the same producer, the same video makers. I mean, and the video clips have taken over the actual song. You'll see a half decent video clip and think the song's good. And then I've heard the song on its own and it's rubbish, no emotion whatsoever. Whereas the 60s and 70s, the video clip enhanced the songs. Jumpin' Jack Flash is a perfect example, and David Bowie's earlier stuff in the early 70s really emphasised that. I think music stopped changing basically the day after the Sex Pistols left the scene. There's been no major change in music since then. They call it retro and emo and all this stuff, but it's just a label and it's still the same. I don't know where else I can go next, but I'm curious to find out. The next question is from Deanne. Which of your songs is particularly helpful to you on a cathartic level? There isn't one really, but having said that, the first song that I recorded and managed to get onto the internet was Pleased to Meet You, and I thought, oh hello, there's something in this. So I guess it was two steps forward getting Pleased to Meet You onto the airwaves and all the rest of it, but I mean, it could have been one of a dozen songs. And the only reason I did it was I was starting to get sober at the time and it was easy to do. I didn't have to think too much. But like I said, there was one of a dozen songs during the sobering up period that I could have put on there. That happened to, Pleased to Meet You happened to be the one that went on there that pushed me forward and got me here today, I guess. Jean asks, when are you going to get a decent pair of shades, Bob? Well, Jean, they're quite an expensive pair of sunnies. Some people like them, some people don't. It depends what lens you're looking through, I guess. Carla asks, of all the songs you wrote, which one do you think has the most meaning? With the exception of 3 songs, Carla, they don't have any meaning at all. The 3 are referred to as Queen of Illusion, which was written in the early to mid-90s, and it was actually called King of Illusion, but I had to swap it to Queen, otherwise I'd probably be sued, because it's quite a nasty personal attack. The second one's A Thought Away, which is written about my best pal. It was done entirely in one take. I don't think I could do the vocal track on a second take because it is quite a personal song to me. And the third one's probably got the most meaning to me. It's a retrospective stories that my Bob Findlay, my dad, told me about when they're working down the coal mines with, you know, the budgie in the cage and all that kind of stuff. And just the relentless grinding, day in, day out stuff. And working in the pits, as they call them in Scotland. Back in those days, and you know, to do that for your family and die at 61 is just wrong. So that's a real bummery note to finish on, but I hope it's answered your question, and thank you all for tuning in. And if you're not a member already, feel free to click join the group. You don't get heaps of emails from me, basically because I'm disorganised. But I hope you have a good time there and enjoy what you hear and see, and please feel free to contribute. See you later on. Ta-da.